What if I told you that you could sell anything without being salesy, pushy, or persuasive? I'm talking about knowing exactly what to say in your sales page, your launch emails, even your DMs to make your dream students and clients think, she so gets me. I need this now. Because that's what happens when you understand what actually drives people to take action. I spent years studying why people buy, how they justify purchase decisions, and what messages stick long enough to move someone to act. And let me tell you, it's not about hype. It's not about having the lowest price. And it's not even about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about speaking to the part of your audience that already wants to say yes and helping them do it with confidence. That's how I turned a small idea into a sold-out offer, how I went from ghosted DMs to daily inquiries, and how I've helped clients do exactly the same without changing their product, their price, or their personality. So if you've ever said, I love what I sell, but selling it feels damn near impossible, then pull up a chair. Because it's not fancy branding, viral reels, or the perfect CTA, it's psychology. And today I'm giving you 5 high-converting psychological signals you can use across your entire funnel today to make more sales tomorrow. You're listening to the From Scratch podcast, the podcast for bold entrepreneurs who are done with cookie-cutter advice, done with burnout, and done with building businesses that don't actually feel good. I'm your host, Kary, a near $1 million course creator, brand strategist, and business coach for women who are ready to do it differently. 7 years ago, I hit a level of success and still ended up crying on the bathroom floor. So trust me when I say, starting from scratch isn't about starting over. It's about taking your power back and rebuilding on your own terms. Every week, you'll get unfiltered stories, bold strategies, and the mindset shifts you need to build with soul, sell with strategy, and grow something that feels like you. So let's get into it. A few years ago, I discovered a brand called One and Wild. No influencer partnerships, no polished packaging, just this tiny candle company with grainy photos and one-sentence descriptions on Etsy. And yet I was totally obsessed. I read every review, I joined the waitlist, I stalked their Instagram for restock, and when the launch dropped, I bought 5. Now here's what blew my mind. I didn't even need candles. I didn't even know this brand, but they knew how to speak to something deeper in me, something that made me feel like buying their candle meant something about me. That's what this episode is about, understanding what people already believe, want, and need so you can sell them anything. And a fair warning, we're going to get a little sciencey. There's going to be a lot of fancy words, but I promise I'm going to make it all make sense. So stick with me. Signal 1, the identity mirror. People buy things that make them feel more like themselves or the version of themselves they want to be. You know that feeling when you read a line and go, oh my goodness, that's so me. That's what we're aiming for here. This is what's known in psychology as the self-verification theory, which says people are drawn to what aligns with their internal identity. That candle I was talking about, it wasn't just sage and citrus. It was minimalist, nostalgic, made for women who believe in slow living and magic in the mundane, made for me or who I saw myself as. But when people encounter something that doesn't match their self-perception, they bounce without giving it a second thought. That's why this is so important. So you need to mirror your audience's inner world, what they value, how they see themselves, who they're becoming. You need to write in a way that makes them feel seen, understood, and held, like your offer was made for someone exactly like them. So here's your move for your sales page. Write 3, this is for you if statements that reflect identity, not just pain points. Use identity-driven language. For an example, for the woman who lights a candle before journaling, believes in intuitive decisions over endless strategy, and is building a life that feels like exhaling. For the coach who doesn't want to be famous, but just fully booked with the right people, doing deep work that actually changes lives without burning out in the process. And for the mom who builds her business in the margins of nap time, refuses to choose between ambition and presence, and wants her kids to grow up seeing what aligned success really looks like. Now add these statements to the top section of your sales page, and then sprinkle them again just before your offer stack and your pricing to re-anchor their belief in themselves. And here's the bonus move. Take snippets from client and customer testimonials that affirm identity. Mirror their beliefs right back to them. that's how trust compounds. Signal 2, emotional urgency. Ever wonder why some messages spark instant action while others get politely ignored, or maybe not so politely ignored? It's not always about logic. It's not even always about timing. It's about emotional urgency. And no, I'm not talking about fake countdown timers or sleazy buy now or your die broke tactics. This isn't about scarcity marketing. This is about something much more powerful and much more personal. It's about what motivates us from the inside out. According to the motivational intensity theory, people don't take action based purely on how important something is. They move when their emotional activation matches the effort required. Said simply, we move when the emotional cost of staying stuck outweighs the emotional discomfort of change. That's the key. You've probably felt this in your own life. Maybe you didn't join that program the first time you saw it. Maybe you didn't hire that coach or switch that platform or start that workout plan right away. But one day, something changed. Something tipped. You felt it in your gut. You hit that moment of, I can't keep doing it this way. That's emotional urgency. And when you know how to speak to that moment in your emails, you don't just have to push, you have to meet them where they already are. Let me give you a real example. In one of my launch emails, I added this simple line. If you don't do this now, this will be your 5th month saying next time. That one sentence, just one, boosted click-through rates by 32%. Why? Because it helped the reader emotionally feel the cost of inaction. It wasn't pressure, it was perspective. So here's your move for your sales emails. Write a short paragraph that contrasts the emotional cost of staying stuck with the emotional benefit of change. Add it to email number 3 in your sequence, right before your hard CTA. Try using metaphors to bring this to life. For an example, it's like rearranging furniture in a house you know you're meant to move out of. This speaks to the quiet exhaustion of tweaking things that need a bigger change. Or, it's like trying to run a marathon in shoes that don't fit. Eventually, the blisters will outpace your willpower. This is a powerful image for those clinging to the wrong strategy, offer, or path. And lastly, it's like sitting in the driver's seat with the GPS rerouting but never hitting the gas. This speaks to clarity without action and how clarity alone doesn't create results. Then what I want you to do is use bold formatting or italics to make this most urgent line pop out. Don't just tell them it's time. Show them what waiting costs them. Signal 3, objection reversal. Raise your hand if you've ever been on the fence about something, and the second someone tried to push, you ran the other way. That's not just stubbornness, it's called psychological reactance, a protective response we all have when we feel pressured. Now pair that with loss aversion, which tell us we're more motivated to avoid loss than gain, and suddenly flipping objections becomes your secret superpower. One of my clients, Michelle, kept hearing, I'm not ready yet in her DMs. So we added this one line to her script. Still waiting to feel ready? That's how you know it's time. 3 new clients, no discount, just clarity. So here's your move for selling in your DMs. When someone brings up a soft objection in your DMs, respond with, I totally get that. And it actually tells me something powerful. Then flip it gently. Feeling uncertain often means you care. And that's exactly who this was made for. Keep it light, personal, curious, not pushy. And bonus, use voice notes if possible. They help build connection and intimacy. Your goal isn't to eliminate objections. It's to help them feel seen in their hesitation and still move forward. Want more plug-and-play DM strategies that feel high touch and not high pressure? Grab my DM to Dollars toolkit via the link below or at karyperry.com/DM-toolkit. It's filled with copy and paste scripts, message flows, and ethical sales psychology to help you turn conversations into clients without sounding like a sleazy robot. Signal 4, emotional anchoring. Let's be honest, people don't buy coaching packages, templates, or lesson plans. They buy the feeling they believe those things will give them. That's why a small brand can make you tear up during a commercial, while another big brand, maybe even one with a better product, completely disappears from your memory. That's the power of effective conditioning, a psychological principle that teaches us that when you consistently pair your offer with a specific emotion, your audience starts to associate your brand with that feeling automatically. This is why I still get chills when I walk into a certain bookstore, not because of the books, but because that's where I used to take myself on dates when I first started over in my business. It smelled like possibility and peace. and I still go back there when I want to feel grounded again. Your brand can do that too, but not if your content is only explaining, never feeling. Because teaching alone doesn't build memory, emotion does. Think about it. How many Instagram posts have you read that were helpful? Now, how many actually made you feel something? That's the difference between content that converts and content that gets scrolled right past. So here's your move for your content. Step 1. Choose one core emotion your brand delivers. Think freedom, clarity, ease, confidence, joy, relief, peace, momentum. Step 2. Write a 3-sentence mini story that shows what that emotion feels like in real life. Make it personal, visual, emotional, specific. Step 3. Repurpose that story into a real voiceover or talking head script, a carousel post with 1 sentence per slide, a story caption that drives action. Let's take freedom for an example. I remember waking up to my first automated sale, not because of the money, but because it felt safe. Like I could finally exhale knowing my business was working for me even when I wasn't. That's what my course Sales from Scratch gives you. Emotion equals memory. Memory equals conversions. So if you want to be unforgettable, make them feel something every time. Signal 5. Show them the bridge. Let's talk about something 99% of entrepreneurs miss. They give their audience a juicy freebie and then they leave them hanging. No next step, no invitation, just silence. But here's what the psychology says. Once someone has taken a small step with you, like downloading your lead magnet, they're far more likely to say yes to the next step. That's called commitment bias. Our brains crave consistency. Once we started with something, we want to stay congruent with that identity. But you've got to give them a clear path to follow. Let me show you what I mean. One of my clients had a gorgeous lead magnet, a 15-page mini workbook, but she wasn't seeing conversions. We added one simple bridge at the end, a direct call to action that said, if you're ready to turn this plan into real momentum, I'll walk you through the exact steps inside my coaching program. You don't have to figure it out alone. The result? People started buying because they saw the next step and felt safe taking it. You can do the same. So here's your move for your lead magnet. Inside your lead magnet, don't just summarize at the end. End with a specific personal invitation. Add a call to action that sounds like this. If you're ready to, insert their desire. Without, insert their common frustration. Then insert the name of your offer, will walk you through it step by step. Or, you've already started, let's keep going. Inside, insert the name of your offer. I'll help you insert the main benefit so you can insert the desired end result. Do this right now, today. Don't leave your audience at the starting line. Show them where to go next and make it feel like a natural continuation, not a pitch. You can sell anything when you understand what your audience really needs to hear. Not surface level hype, not pressure, not perfection, but real words that speaks to their heart and their desires, that dissolves that objections and makes them feel seen. It's not about being salesy. It's about being strategic and sincere. You have the power to connect deeply and sell generously without sacrificing your voice, but only if you stop guessing and start writing with intention. And that's exactly why I created the Soulful Sales Funnel Checklist. Inside, I'll walk you through essential pieces your audience needs to see before they say yes, words to use to create urgency without being pushy, and what to include and what to skip in your emails, posts, and sales pages. I want you to walk away with the kind of funnel that makes people think, she gets me. Now grab the checklist today at the link below or at karyperry.com/sales-checklist-freebie because your words are powerful and it's time they started working for you.